So, this broadcast will be dedicated to the process of spiritual initiation that can show up in many different expressions. If you're currently navigating a very strong initiation, that this live stream is for you. So, hello, my dear friends and community. This is Katarina Satori. Hi, Merly. Good to see you, beloved. Yeah, I just completed initiation of the body. 10 days of very strong body initiation. So, just fresh out of that portal, have so many insights to share with you. And this topic of how to navigate accelerated growth of your consciousness. So my name is Katarina. I host different classes, courses. I lead a mystery school right now. I'm a passionate mystic. And a lot of times I guide others through these very challenging transits. You know, I often meet people on major crossroads or thresholds of their life where they're leaving behind a whole identity, right? Not just changing a little bit, going through a radical transformation. And when you go to a radical transformation, what is so important is, first of all, to know that you're not alone, that it is a normal part of your soul evolution. I think the second thing is like, what are the tools, what are the practices, what are the mindsets that can assist you, and what are the power of being supported by your spiritual allies, your cosmic mentors, your helpers, the trees, the lakes, the ocean, right? So just to give you a little bit of a context, this whole process of spiritual initiation for me began when I became aware of these very natural cycles of intense growth that begin to occur in your life more and more often when you dedicate your life to your sacred calling, to evolution of your soul, right? So when you make that sincere prayer of surrender, hi everyone, welcome. This is Katarina, and we're talking about initiation and how to navigate a very strong initiation if you are in it right now. But what I have noticed in my own life experience, you know, there was such deep yearning to find my calling and to be of service to a greater cause that I willingly surrendered my life to Spirit, and I willingly said, Great Spirit, please lead my life. And after that prayer, which was around 2015, so 10 years ago, right? That was like such a deep, full heart-on surrender. And receiving that higher guidance of my life, I started going through accelerated experiences of accelerated consciousness. And they first looked like tests, right? Like spiritual tests. And there's a part in our life journey where we will receive real spiritual tests to make sure that we embody what we learn before we progress to the next level of consciousness, next level of empowerment, next level of responsibility, next level of leadership. So there are tests, right? Yes, darling, have a beautiful flight. There are tests and there's initiations. So initiation is a prolonged experience where you being asked to lean on your inner core. Right, so I'll give you an example of, I moved recently and I began a whole new chapter with my beloved, and it was a really big change, right? Really beautiful and positive change, but really big change. And my body reacted to that change by breaking into skin irritation and this really overwhelming physical discomfort not only lasted a day or 2 or 3, but 10 days. And when you are in a prolonged discomfort, whether it's emotional discomfort, physical discomfort, relational discomfort, or spiritual discomfort, when you are being asked to experience a particular difficulty, right, that's stretching you, that is really challenging to go through, and you know you're on the path of soul evolution, you're on the path of awakening, this could be an experience of soul initiation where you're being strengthened by fire. You know, there's many different initiations. You can have water initiation, earth initiation, they're very elemental in nature. But when you go through a fire initiation, you may have a bodily symptoms, you may have like a physical experience of your home being burned, right? Or, you know, like something like this where a fire of change internally or externally comes into your life, and that's a fire initiation. So in the beginning of this year, 2 of my colleagues lost their homes in Palisades fire, right? And that was a full initiation for their souls, right? These are the people who are spiritual leaders, who are carrying the flame of service, you know, who are benevolent, who, you know, who are generous, who are givers, and they received initiation by fire. So when you go through initiation that is a part of your next evolutionary leap, this is what can be helpful for you, since I just crossed mine, is to focus your mind on the mindset that this is a purifying experience. And even if you are in it, sometimes it's hard to remember that, right? You can have big emotions come up. You can feel fatigued through initiation, right? Halfway through it, you may feel just like you just want to collapse. So having somebody in your life who could be a safe space for you to be human, right? Because it's absolutely okay to have big feelings when you go through initiation, and you just to feel human, feel vulnerable, feel human, feel helpless. I remember for me, when I'm going through initiation, it's good, it's very supportive to express it, right? To express it and to share it with somebody I trust, that this is not easy, this is challenging. And by naming what you're moving through, it airs the energy out, right? So it gives you space to gather your strength and move forward to the next step. So I find it's really, really important when you're moving through spiritual initiation, and it can also show up as a relational initiation. You know how many examples I personally know, people very, very dedicated to their path, you know, so devoted mystics, spiritual leaders on the path of ascension go through relation initiation, whether it shows up as a breakdown of the family or some kind of a relational conflict in the business. But you know, it's a purifying experience for them to help them refine their character, lean on their training, and also pass a particular test, right? So that's what I'm noticing with initiations, is the mindset is remind yourself it is a temporary experience, and focus your mind on the leap of consciousness that you are about to make. I promise you, when you finish the purification process, what tends to happen is a whole new wave of information, whether it is inspiration, downloads, creative ideas. You know, like after I finished this recent body initiation, I've been in a download mode, and meaning I'm receiving creative downloads, boom, 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 and I am catching them and writing them down and, receiving. I'm in the receiving mode. So whenever we complete the initiation process, there is always, I'm not going to use the word reward, but expansion on the other side, right? Because initiation, it feels like a contraction, like you're being pulled to become a seed in the ground, right? Where everything is covered up, including, maybe some physical sensation, relational, financial. If you go through financial initiation, right? That is also a very purifying experience, because it will help you see all the wounds of abandonment, the wounds of not feeling supported, the wounds of overwhelm, the wounds like I can't hold my reality together. So when you go through a financial initiation as a spiritual person dedicated to your soul ascension, it's a very powerful and cleansing process to notice where you're over relying on your will alone, and where you're not still able to fully let go and allow the cosmos, the intelligence of the cosmos, to hold you. Right? So every initiation has a purifying effect. It's there to help you let go of that clutter, energetic clutter, the noise, the belief systems, right? It's accelerated purification. After you move through accelerated purification, there is expansion, whether it's an expansion of how you see the world, how you see yourself, how you see others, how you see your own strength, right? And there is a creative renewal. There is a zest for life. When I just finished this body initiation, every morning when I wake up, I have a profound sense of gratitude for having a normal skin, not constantly itch, like not having a skin that feels like being inflamed on fire, right? That was incredibly intense experience. So one more tool that I want to offer you while you are in the process of initiation, it's very helpful to receive information from your higher self and your body of what is the deeper message. What is this process of initiation is trying to get my attention, right? So for example, if it's a physical initiation, suddenly you are going through a physical illness, or you're going through, a friend of mine, no longer in the body anymore, went to Brazil. He died this last year, but a very fit, very young, healthy man went to Brazil for vacation. On a day one, slipped on the stairs and broke his leg. That's initiation. That's an example of body initiation, where you go to a vacation to a country like Brazil, where you expect to dance and have fun and eat amazing food, right? Celebrate life. Boom, day one, you've broken your leg, and you gotta spend all the money that you didn't even plan to spend on being transported back to the hospital, and from the hospital back to US. When you feel so kind of like blindsided by the physical initiation, it's challenging not to collapse in building up a story of what it means. Is the universe against me? Oh my God, I am so not supported. Why me? Why it's happening now, right? So I find the reason why initiations are so purifying, because it helps you see how the part of your mind tends to go into the making of the story or making of the movie, versus having a big emotional a response is totally okay. Work through it, however way is beneficial for you. Journal it, breath work, talk to a trusted friend, vent, right? Bit a pillow, whatever, however you need to move the energy, but the energy needs to be moved. And then step into your training, step into your spiritual training, step into your mental training, where you say, I'm going through a process that is purifying to the bone. And it's going to help me see my inner environment. It's going to help me see, am I truly a master of my mind, or am I just telling myself that I have developed certain level of mastery, right? So it's a very powerful process where you can see your own level of development, right? While maintaining, or at least attempting to maintain, compassion and tenderness for your human self. So it's a delicate balance to strike, right? And the reason I wanted to talk about physical initiations is because when I was going through my skin initiation, a dear soul brother of mine messaged me and he said, "Sister, I have this weird thing happen. The blood vessel on his eye burst, and his entire eye is covered, like bloodshot." And he's like, "It just happened out of the blue." And then another person messaged me and says, "I have exactly the same skin condition as you do. And so thank you for sharing yours, because it gives me, strength to know I'm not alone." So the thing with the body is the last frontier. When we go through these upgrade of our life, upgrade of our consciousness, upgrade of our heart, the body needs to go through upgrade as well. And if it has been storing certain experiences from the past, whether it's this life or previous life, it will often release those imprints in a very physical way. So it's a really multifaceted experience to go through initiation. But what I can tell you, because I've been through so many of them, but I also, every time I go through them, they are uncomfortable. But I track my level of, if I am able to become even 5% more aware each initiation, like, oh, I am in it, right? To me, it's such incredible growth. Because when we go through initiation, if we're able to increase our awareness even 5%, like, oh my gosh, I'm going through an accelerated process of inner growth. What can be helpful for me right now? And I can tell you, for me personally, it's breath work, and why I've been such an ambassador of giving everyone this invitation, discover the power of your breath. Because when you practice breath work, you arrive in the now. You arrive in your body. And not everybody has the means or resources to take a breathwork class and to actually go to a yoga studio and to do an hour class. But the beautiful thing, you don't have to. You can go to YouTube channel and just search breathwork. And there's going to be hundreds of facilitators who freely offer their service and to give their guidance. And scanning with what's happening in the collective, if we are not able to breathe right now, if we don't know how to access the power of now by working with our breath, we won't be able to experience all the upgrades of consciousness that are constantly being downloaded to the planet right now. But if we find this new relationship with breath, new relationship with the body, new relationship with the now, then we're able to navigate our spiritual initiations with an open heart and with awareness, right? And if we're able to do that with awareness, we can receive downloads and messages from the body in a real time. We don't have to wait 5 months after finishing initiation. Like, what was that about? Right? You can receive your downloads and messages in a real time. And that's what I'm discovering is so powerful. So I wanted to share with you one tool because I wanted this live stream to be practical, right? Whether you're going to watch it later, in the fullness, because I'm going to post it on Facebook and I'm going to post it on YouTube. So when you go through a process of initiation, if you want to ask your body, what is the root of this process? I recommend to work with a pendulum. Pendulum is a device. This is just one of my one of my necklaces is the Arcturian necklace, Arcturian tool. So, but this is like a temporary pendulum. What I love about this process of a pendulum is the pendulum reflects the wisdom of your body. So it's not about fortune telling, it's not about predicting the future, it's about asking the body, communicating to the body. So I would ask the body, you know, like, here's my pendulum, and I would first say, okay, show me my yes. You see it goes left to right, left to right. That's my yes. Show me my no. My no is from me to me, from me to me, from me to me. So when I was going through intense skin initiation, I would pull out my pendulum and I would say, is this emotional issue? And the pendulum will tell me yes or no. Is this energetic issue? Yes or no. Is this food sensitivity issue? So pendulum is an incredible self-diagnostic tool that you ask your body's wisdom, what are you going through, right? And the same thing if you're going through any sort of initiation, you can ask the body's wisdom. So I just wanted to offer that for anyone who is going through extreme physical discomfort that it just came out of blue to your life, and you don't know how to move through it or how to navigate or why you're still there. Ask your body, right? Ask your body, because your body cannot lie. Your body always give you the honest answer. You know, you can also say, like, is this psychological issue? Is this stress related? Is this worry related? So, right? So once you identify it's emotional issue, you can go through different emotions. Is it connected to anxiety? Is it connected to worry? Is it connected to fear? Is it collective? Is it individual? And this way, I feel it's so empowering. You know, I have always been about empowering, self-empowerment, right? So we have so many tools. We have the breath, we have the movement, we have fasting, we have pendulum. Pick your tool. And then you can not only self-diagnose yourself, you can receive messages that this initiation offers you in real time. Does anybody has questions, loves, let me know. I am so grateful to be complete with this very intense skin initiation that I just went through. Wow, thank you. And you know, the message for me was change. It was very, very radical change. And even if it's a beautiful change, your subconscious mind sometimes needs a lot more patience. You know, you got to bring your subconscious mind on board. So I offer this to you, and I intuit a lot more upgrades coming our way, and don't be surprised if you will be even more sensitive than you are right now. You know, like, I continue to find new sensitivities, right? Specifically sensitivities to light. You know, when I moved in with my partner a month ago, the first thing that I asked him, I said, honey, I have a request about lights. Can we find softer lighting? Because the lights that you have are very intense. And what he did, he went and he found these incredible light bulbs that are filled with Himalayan salt. Did you know those exist? It's incredible. So now in our bathroom, we have these beautiful Himalayan salt light bulbs that give this warm, gentle glow. So I find, since I'm in the feminine body, I'm a woman, women are way more sensitive to lights, way more sensitive to sound. You know, men are sensitive too, but like for my partner, the lights was not a challenge. But for me, it was the first thing that jumped at me. Can we change the lights? Then I just got my shower filter. You may notice that if you put the shower filter in your shower, it will change how you feel, because your skin is your largest organ, and I feel intuitively part of my skin initiation was going from one city to another city. 2 different cities have 2 different city waters, and not bringing my shower filter and not changing the shower filter. The third thing is the water that you drink. I've been drinking Alive water for the last 8 years. So Alive water comes from the spring. You can search online. It's great product. I really love it. It's the most pure water. So, drinking water that of particular type for 8 years and then switching to something else also triggered response from the body. So, there's many different reasons, and I'm still receiving the latest message, but it helped me deepen my prayer. One thing that I do is I practice a very ritual-centered life. I practice mystical prayer, which, non-stop communication with the world of spirit, right? It's constant communication. And that's the way how I live. And, I really turned the corner during my initiation when I went to make offerings. I make offerings every single day. But when I got my skin inflammation, I just felt so miserable. I didn't even leave the house. But on the day 3 or 4 or 5, I don't even remember right now, I said to my partner, we need to go make offerings. So we drove to the ocean, and I cried to the ocean, and I asked for help. And I said, please, Mother, please give me this gift of healing. Give me the gift of relief. And that night I turned the corner. So, I keep sharing about rituals on my stories. Some of you may have seen me making rose petal offerings. I teach classes on this because it's a real transformative technology, of communication with the world of spirit. And when I travel to Peru several times, I have seen that in real life, that people get up in the morning and they make offerings to the mountains, to the earth, right? And it's a constant communication. And I feel like more and more of us here in the West realizing the power of communication with nature as an intelligent, conscious field, right? As the mother, Mother Nature. So when you are going through initiation, what can really support you and give strength to your soul is a ritual practice. So if you already have a spiritual practice, double down whenever you go through initiation, because you want, since you already feel so raw and so surrendered and so exposed, use that time of nakedness, right? Like that inner spiritual nakedness to get closer to spirit even more. Like, here I am naked in front of you, spirit. Show me the parts of my soul that I am ready to see. And the ritual carries you through it. So that is my insight from the recent initiation. If it's supportive for you, if it's helpful for you, amazing. I feel it's a very healthy and natural process of maturation of the soul. We will have more and more initiation. I mean, we've always had them. We just become aware. Oh, I am going through initiation. This is an intense one, right? And what can be useful? What can be helpful? So thank you, my dear friends. It was good to connect with you. I love sharing this time together. I am live streaming next to Ganesh. I'm going to show you. Here's my altar. Here's my Ganesh. The tree outside. Wishing you a beautiful beautiful rest of the day and the weekend. And may you continue to find strength in every chapter of your journey. Strength and beauty and deep, deep trust in the process that your soul is taking you through. Until next.